Hello and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be going over 3 late round gems that I would love to see Washington Commanders targets in those later rounds. Now I know it's not part of the video, but I do want to do a quick look at these new uniforms that came out yesterday. I like these a lot. The black ones look amazing, big upgrade over the other black ones they had. And of course, I like the throwback, not throwback, but like the old Redskins uniforms. And yeah, let's get right to the video. So I think this will be an interesting video with the draft a week away and Washington having a couple picks in those later rounds. I think they have 2-6, they have a 7th, and they have a 5th as well. So I'm going to go over a couple players that I like in those later rounds. Let's get right into it. All right, first up, I have Clemson running back Adam Randall. Now, Adam Randall, his first 3 years at Clemson, he played wide receiver, but he never really got on the field that much. As you can see, he had like 100, 200, 100 yards, never over 300 yards receiving. And then his senior season, he switched to running back, and he was great for Clemson at running back. He obviously can catch the ball. He's a former receiver. He can run routes. He's a good route runner out of the backfield. He's 6'2", 230, so he's got an ideal running back build. And I think someone like this, I feel like he's kind of like a nice weapon to have out of the backfield. And he's only going to develop into a better running back because he was great in his first ever year playing running back in his life. So, yeah, I think he'd be a great addition in those later rounds. And, yeah. Now, just a quick look at the PFF big board. They have Adam Randall at 326, which I think is crazy. I just think this is crazy. I think he's a lot better than the 326 best player. I think you could even put him in the top 200 best players. And I think this is like undrafted territory. And I think he's definitely going to be drafted. I think he could even get into like the 4th round possibly. I know teams are going to love the receiving background. And yeah, let's get right into the next player. Now, next up, we have Cyrus Allen, wide receiver from Cincinnati. Now, he might not be a late round guy. I know he might like get into like the top 100 possibly. This is a pretty strong receiver class in my opinion. It has really good depth in the class. Maybe not like a true number 1 guy, like a generational guy, but I think it's really good receiving class across the board. And Allen, one of the best route runners in the class. You can even argue he might be the best route runner. His route running is so smooth. And I think this would be a good spot in the 5th round. And maybe if they're even in the 3rd round, because that's how high I'm on him. I wouldn't mind drafting him in the 3rd. He's going to be a great receiver. He is only 5'11", 180, but he's still such a smooth route runner. I would love to have him on our team. And he has good hands, too. And here's the PFF big board. They have him at 155, so it's around like the 4th, 5th round range. I think he'll go higher than that. I hope Washington targets Cyrus Allen. I think it's going to be a steal for whoever gets him. That route running can translate to the NFL, and I think, yeah, great player. All right, let's get right to the final player. All right, I lied. I realized how short this video was going to be if I only did 3 players, so I will be doing 5 players that I really like in the later rounds, and the 3rd player is Jalen Husky, DMV guy. They say he's a cornerback, but he's actually a safety, and I think he's going to be he's going to be the guy in those later rounds that could eventually start at safety for a team. I think he's really talented. He had 4 interceptions on the season, great ball hawk, 2 pass breakups, 58 tackles. And yeah, so let's take a look at the PFF board. They have him 247. Again, I think he's better than that. I think he'll go higher than that. I think he could sneak into the 5th round, maybe 5th or 4th, maybe. Might be like a 6th or 7th round guy though, but I wouldn't mind taking him in the 5th. It's a little bit of reach maybe, but in those 6th or 7th rounds, I would love him. Let's get right to the next player. All right, next up, we have defensive tackle Landon Robinson from Navy. The Washington Commanders have met with him twice. He was at their local pro day, and he also came back for another visit this week. And he actually trained with Aaron Donald this summer, and there is some similarities in those two. I know he's not going to be Aaron Donald, but they are both a little bit smaller, but they're like very strong defensive tackles. I do not see him getting bullied at the next level. He's a very strong guy. He had 6.5 sacks in the year, And yeah, so PFF has him ranked 122. So he was obviously a little bit lower than that in the beginning of the offseason, but he's been flying up draft boards. And I think he'd go even high as like the second or third round. I think teams are really high on him. So he might not be a late round gem, but he is someone I want to mention because I think he's going to be a great player in the NFL. Now, final player I want to highlight was Jagger Burton, center from the University of Kentucky. Now, he had an amazing combine. As we can go down here, number one out of all centers at the combine. He had a 4.940 with a 1.76 split and a 28 vertical jump and a 9.3 broad jump. So he's a very athletic guy. I know the combine definitely helped his draft stock a lot, but I still think he might go in the later rounds, like the 5th round, 6th round, 7th round maybe. Don't think he'll reach his 7th or 6th, but I still think he can go in those 5th or 4th rounds. And he's someone I would love to see as target. Washington does need some center depth. I think he'd help. He'd be great competition for Nick Allegretti because we still don't really know what the center is going to look like this upcoming season. And the PFF board has him ranked 141. And I think he's got a lot of great tools to work with. Again, very athletic guy. Don't think he was amazing at Kentucky. I could be wrong. But that combine, I know about him from the combine, and he was a beast at the combine. And so, yeah. And that's the end of the video. If you guys like this video, I might do another one of these in the next couple of days. The draft is exactly 1 week from today. So just let me know if you guys like to see another video of these. I'll probably have one more mock draft as well coming out for the draft. And yeah, thank you for watching and have a good one.